Hey Bat fans, Luke here, ready to bat chat about the next installment of Batman. That is Batman issue number 81, City of Bane, part 7. And before you'll see the two covers. You got here the main cover on the left, which is a John Romita Jr. Cover, and then on the right hand side is Francesco Mattina. And what I liked about the covers is that both are very thematically similar. And whereas both, I mean, it would throw the obvious, yeah, Bane's on both of them, but take it one step further, it's more than just a Bane theme on these covers. You go as far as they take it as far as Nightfall. If you remember back in Nightfall, you have all the covers in the Bat books. They kind of have a picture, look something similar like this, or actually just opposed to something like that, where you have the bat symbol, and then it would be like shattered. In the beginning, kind of like the interludes, or not the interludes, the preludes to Nightfall, letting the readers know that the Nightfall story was about to begin. And you would get these little images on the covers of a shattered Batman symbol. And then obviously if you read Batman Nightfall, you get the gist of Bane breaking Batman's back, as you see here on the Mattina cover. But you kind of see how both of them are very similar in that you have the shattered bat symbol, if you've seen in Batman Nightfall, obviously Bane, and then obviously the correlation with the Batman's back getting broken. So right off the bat, I thought that was really cool. I'll kind of keep this here. Doing things a little bit different in this video, different video angle from here. Doing it from actually my car getting ready to hit the gym up. So, but it's raining outside. Normally I like to take in the back, stand up, but now out of necessity doing it this way. So apologize if the angle is not perfect, but I'll get there. So, as I said in my last video, and I do apologize if I came off really, I don't want to say ugly, but very dismissive, I think might be the better word of how it came across. And there's a reason why I stepped away, and like I said in my last video, there's a reason why I stepped away from the single issues reviews. And I want to get back to them, so that's why I'm kind of slowly getting there. But the key to it is not to dwell too much in the negativity of it. So I'm gonna try to not be as dismissive as last video, but still kind of point out, I think, would be the honest critique and my honest reaction after reading this issue, because I do have some thoughts behind it which I do think are worth saying, but at the same time I don't think I'm a dog pile into too much of the negative aspect of it, because if I get caught down in that, and that's going to go right back to where I was before, which is not doing single issue reviews, which I desperately want to really get back into them. So, but anyway, so I'm not going to shill about this issue. I'm not going to sit there and hide the fact. Some things I think that are bad and just put a positive spin on. I'm not going to do that, but at the same time, I'm just not going to dwell in it. So, make my point if it's bad, and then kind of move on. At least in this issue, because again, I want to stay with it. So anyway, Batman 81. Where we left off last issue, we had Thomas Wayne figuring out that, yeah, Batman's come back into Gotham. I'm sorry, Bane has figured out, actually, it was Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne figured out that Batman is back into Gotham, so he lets Bane know, and Bane puts out the order, hey, take out the kid. And right now that's where we kind of pick up at. And right off the bat, the colorist in this issue is still Tony or Maury. Mitch Garrod actually has 2 pages here toward the end, which we'll get there in a second. But there's, like I said last issue, the positives about the art is the Klaus Janson inks, and the art and the colors by Maury. And that continues. But right off the bat, there's going to be a couple, again, not going to dogpile, I'm going to make my point. John Romita Jr. art, again, not my particular preference. What gets me with him is just a lot of it is dimensional, just errors. I mean, here we go. Look how big that gun is. That is massive. That is a massive handgun right there. And then here we go with the weirdly shaped ears. It is what it is, I guess. But the thing with the art, with a lot of John Romita Jr.'s art, is that they're saving aspects of it, and they're like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool. This one, not bad, not perfect. I don't like the stance of Batwoman there, and then you'll see some other things later. So as far as the art in this, not bad. What saves it a lot with John Romita Jr.'s art is that it lends well to like the dark kind of environment that his art can be kind of utilized in, and that you're getting Gotham in this very very, I don't want to say Dark Knight Return-ish type of setting, but it sort of is. I think the setting of the story lends itself very well to John Romita Jr.'s art. And this issue, not bad. There's some things which, that's Cassandra Cain, the little thing I kind of caught here. Look at the eyelets. Let me see if I can pull it up a little bit closer. You can actually see the eyelets, and then if you go and like in here, Cassandra Cain, you see her eyes right there. They're solid white, so they got the cover, or the protective covering to cover the eyes, whereas you see things in that panel, it's clearly not covered. So consistency there. When you're trying to, when you look at this through a like a critical thinking lens, there's little things you pick up on, but this stuff I liked, to be perfectly honest. The art was better than last issue. Again, not shilling it, just being honest. This was, believe it or not, I think the weirdest part of the art in this issue. And again, it's just like I said before about the eyes. It's consistency, attention to detail. Just look how the arm is. For him to catch that arrow, it'd be like his arm would have to be like totally twisted, versus if he just had his other hand, he would catch it with his hand overhand, like on a strong grip. But his arm is going this way, and then his hand is truly going, I mean, just look. Yeah, that's like he's almost dislocating his elbow. And I don't want to hear, no, it's, you know, it's Batman. No, in this case, Flashpoint Batman. Hey, he can. No, that is just, it's off, totally off. But I mean, this aspect of the art was really cool. We actually had the fighting. We'll get into that in a second. This part, not bad. Just all in all, I think the art was better. And Gerard's art for the end of the last two pages was actually pretty decent. So I would say this was a step in the right direction as far as the art goes in this issue. The story. Better. That said, if you're wondering, remember way back when, I know this has been out in the interwebs, you can't avoid it. So spoiler here on this one, but do you remember way back when Batman assumed that, no, not really assumed, but thought that Arkham Asylum was being overrun by Bane? Obviously he knew this, where Bane was being kind of held, but Batman was like, yeah, that's his headquarters, and he goes in there, he gets members of the Bat family to go with him, and it looks like Arkham Asylum is just, you know, operating clean as day, nothing wrong, it's perfect. But then they go back, and then basically Tim goes up to him and says, hey man, Bruce, you know, I know you're going through a rough time, so leaving you at the altar, basically we're here for you, blah blah blah. And Batman just snaps and, you know, basically, you know, punches Tim right in the face. That in itself felt really odd, really out of character, to be perfectly honest. But we kind of circle the wagons back in this issue, and again, spoilers here. the reason why Batman did it was a way to communicate. That he's taught, the Bat family, hey, if he feels like, they can't communicate openly because they've been compromised, whatever the case may be, there's ways they can sit there and communicate through, combat, the way, someone would hit somebody, block, or whatever the case may be. And we find out here that, Batman would figure it out all along what was going on. And the way he communicated with the Bat family is the way, basically punching Tim in the face. I don't like it. It would make sense a way. Who really makes sense with, believe it or not, is Orphan. If you remember, just the way Orphan, Cassandra Cain, really before Rebirth, because she really didn't talk much. The way she communicated was through body motion, and you would read the stories of how the story would be told just through looking through the lens of Cassandra. She's getting ready to hit somebody, how she's playing, and they show in little parts of the panel, focusing on the knee or the shoulder, or the case may be. So that's the way she would communicate. And I remember I think it was Detective Comics, I think it was Angle number 1 on Rebirth. There was actually a Cassandra Cain centric story of how she would watch this ballerina, or this member, technically, I guess, ballerina, whoever, female participant in the ballet, I think it's ballerina. Excuse me if I jacked that terminology up, but she would observe this person in the ballet, and she would just watch and just be enamored. And through that lens, I thought that would have made total sense if Batman would communicate through Cassandra in that way. But taking it a step further to the way far right on it, and just have Batman punching Tim, say, hey, basically, hey, we're compromised. It just didn't feel right. If Tom King wanted to do it, I think that would have made sense with a different approach. But doing that with Cassandra Cain would have made total sense, because that's just the way she communicates. She can communicate through body language, perception, things of that nature. So, Batman going off, doing that, I'm going to say that was an easy out. Don't know if Tom King realized that hanging Chad was still out there, and that was a way to kind of redeem it a little bit. Not really a fan of it. What I was a fan of it, and I was a little worried, and maybe I shouldn't have been, is basically, members of the Bat family. You got Batwoman, you have Orphan, you have the Signal, which, whatever, Tim Drake, Robin. I thought I saw Batgirl here. I need to go back. Was Batgirl there? Yeah, Batgirl there. Hunter said, fair enough. They're all surrounding Thomas Wayne in here, and I thought it was really told in that, the way Tom King kind of says is that, hey, the Bat family's gonna sit there and take down Thomas, but hey, do they sit there and how they tell Bruce? They let him find out what's going on, because obviously the whole thing with Alfred is still floating. With Bruce, doesn't really know. And I love how they're basically, as you see them, fighting Thomas Wayne in this, they're basically trying to articulate, hey, how do we kind of do this? Do we take him down? Do we let Bruce take him down? Who tells Bruce? Do we tell him now, or wait till we get here and tell him in person, so you can really, Thomas Wayne can really feel the wrath of Batman? And I like how Cassandra Cain comes in, and they just say, hey, Alfred, and they just go, yeah, right, we're taking them down. So I thought the emotion was played really well into it, but at the same time I was like, okay, I get all these characters, I get them, but collectively, can they really take down Thomas Wayne? Batman is basically Batman the equivalent. I was like, I don't know. Even Damian by himself, I don't know. At least in a way it was initially portrayed, I thought, wow, they really took them down pretty easy. But you kind of see at the end, all is not as what it would seem. Thomas Wayne basically playing Possum. So that, I thought it was interesting, the concept. I just thought originally that, man, they were really taking down Thomas Wayne too easily. But the Possum end to it, I like. That said, there's another get out of jail free card at the end. Why basically Thomas Wayne let them beat up on him as much as he did to kind of set up the ruse for Bruce. Okay, yeah, fair enough, whatever. One character does come back in this, and that's another head scratcher on this. I'm going to leave it right here, and I'm going to skip the next 2 pages. I might have actually showed it earlier. We see someone come back, which we haven't seen in a while, and clever, but that said, without this one, I don't want to sit there and kind of ruin it a little bit. But if you've been reading Detective Comics for any extensive amount of time, you might scratch your head a little bit, mainly because how this person kind of comes back into the fold we haven't seen in a while, and I'll leave it at that. It was nice to see that person come back, and especially in a way that this person did, versus reverting back to how he was originally. And I'm getting close to ruin it. So interesting, but that said, the real. Okay, yeah, I gotta stop. It'll ruin it, but it's cool to see what we saw back before these pages, but it'll make you scratch your head a little bit. All in all, how this kind of came about, again, was basically Thomas Wayne playing possum. And this kind of sets things up. Basically, it looked like Batman has, set the tables in his favor. Got Thomas Wayne in a bad spot. Got Bane in a bad spot. But now, obviously, it looks like now Thomas Wayne has flipped the tables. And that made sense, because keep in mind, this is Batman. He literally says it here. But he keeps forgetting that he is my boy and I'm Batman. So, yes, from a different universe, which still needs to be explained, by the way. And I don't want to hear no Skeets crap about that. I just don't buy that. But how he's still back, that needs to be explained. But keep in mind, this is Batman. This is someone who thinks has contingencies for everything. This is just a darker, more violent version of the Batman that we know of. So, I like that. Also, in this issue, you get a little bit of more of an explanation of what was going on with Gotham Girl, which we kind of know already. The reason how she kind of came about. But the Super Venom, that kind of gets fleshed out. Remember back a couple issues ago, Bruce and Selina go and basically take out Magpie to get the Venom. That gets fleshed out a little more, the importance of the story. Kind of glossed over a little bit, and this is the big complaint I have about anything else. This goes back to that Nightmares disaster, and all that time they had to do Nightmares. Call it what it is. It is what it is. He had to go. Tom King had to go do Hollywood stuff. Call it what it is. And in doing so, we had like a big rut where that story just like grinding halt stop. But now we're getting to the end, and it looks like some of the things we're kind of glossing over real quick. This would have been nice to sit there, go back to it, and all that time he's off doing stuff in Hollywood, where we basically, that's time we could have used to flesh this stuff out and kind of eliminate, or at least trim down some of that Nightmare stuff. It's just, we're basically paying the bill for that right now. This is basically the bill payer. We're toward the end of the story, and it's going to seem like we probably need a couple more issues just to flush things out. Some of the details that need to kind of get cleaned up a little bit, but we can't because we're toward the end. So that's a little disappointing. But that said, overall, this was a better issue. I liked the end of this. This is a Bullock part of the whole Year of the Villain, which Mitch Gerard's doing the art in this. Yeah, that's the Doom. Curious to see where they're going with this. With this Year of the Villain thing, nothing really been flushed out a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. I mean, it's kind of spread out to the other titles, but I'm just wondering where they're going to go, especially when you get like little cliffhangers like this. Initially, it made sense when you had, the offer. You get all these, villains getting the offer from Lex. This one, I'm kind of wondering where they're going with it, but I liked it. This is, Bullock just obviously going a little crazy. So, anyway, this was a good issue. Let me take that back. Better. When I say good, I gotta keep in mind in the context of the standards I'm holding up against. But this is better, enjoyable. I'm still gonna give it 2.5, mainly because of the criticisms I noted in this video here. But still, a good story. I still gotta read this. I might do a video on this. We'll see. So anyway, I'm gonna give this a 2.5 out of 5, right in the middle, average, not bad. With signs of some good things to come, but some issues they kind of need to police up a little bit. I think if they get a different artist, I think this will help out a little bit, but we'll see how Tom King kind of sticks the landing here. So anyway, 2.5 out of 5. That's my thoughts on Batman issue number 81. Hit me up in the comments below. If you read it, we'll bat chat about it and go from there. So until next video, which either going to be a Batman single issue, but also have some thoughts on Batman Black and White Volume 3 I kind of want to do, and maybe just be another single issue Batman's. We'll see. But another video to be coming out pretty soon. So until then, take care.